All right, speaker number one is the reigning world champion of public speaking, Mr. Lance Miller. But wait, there's more. Top that. He's been in Toastmasters for ages and ages and ages, at least 11 years, right? 12? 12 years, something like that. He's done all of the posts. He's a wonderful guy. And he will tell us now a little bit about the Toastmaster program. We will get to sit at the knees of Lance Miller and learn about Toastmasters. So with his speech entitled, How Toastmasters Works, please welcome Lance Miller. Hey.
Okay.
No.
Thank you, Debbie, Madam President, Toastmaster, and fellow friends. I've been in Toastmasters 13 years. I've done of the basic manual, which is the first 10 speeches that you get to do in Toastmasters. I've done that manual 16 times. In the advanced manuals, of which I believe there are about 20 advanced manuals, I've done 15 of those advanced manuals. In my 13 years of Toastmasters, I have done over 240 coached speeches. That's speaking about once every 2.5 weeks on a Toastmasters program. I've also held a number of offices in the club, and I've held all the different functions of a meeting, from Toastmaster to our general evaluator, our club coach, timer, grammarian, ballot counter. What I want to share with you today is how the Toastmasters program works. Because I find some people come into Toastmasters and they think that all of the gain comes from standing up here as a speaker and speaking. And when you're wearing another hat, when you're doing another function, there's no positive gain you're getting from that function. And nothing could be further from the truth. For to be a good speaker, to be a complete speaker, you need all of the skills of all of the functions and the hats that Toastmasters provides. And each one of them has a specific area that you're going to gain benefit in. Now, yes, as a speaker, you stand up here and you get to, as Glenn Barton says, get your butterflies to fly in formation. You take that energy that is bouncing around and you formulate it and you focus it and you learn how to construct a speech. And you learn vocal variety and you learn gestures. You learn how to use words properly. You learn how to speak with passion, how to speak sincerely. All of these things you gain from being a speaker. But there are meetings that you never speak. You're a functionary. And so I want to go through the functions very quickly. You can be the timer. When you're the timer, you watch how other people go through their speech, the timing of their speech, where they are at the green card, the yellow card, the red card, how quickly they're going to wrap up. You gain insight into the timing of the speech when you're watching others and you're coaching them on their timing. When you're the awe counter, I have sat next to many young Toastmasters who were the awe counter for the first time, and they would be sitting there with pen and paper in hand, and the awes would be going by, and I'd be elbowing them. I go, there was one, and they're going, oh, I didn't hear it, oh, I didn't hear it. You train yourself to pick up those audible fillers, of which you never heard before. And you know, once you're a Toastmaster, you cannot listen to anybody on television. You can't listen to or any interview, any speaker, without picking up all of their audible fillers. But before you're trained in that, you do not know what that is. That benefits you because now you are able to control your audible fillers. As grammarian, you're listening for those clever usages of the English language, those well-crafted word phrases that really denote the word pictures that we need to use. And before you're a grammarian, you may never pick those up. That is a skill that you develop. Even as chuckle master, or the person that comes up and tells a joke, you work on your ability to deliver a joke. Because if anybody's ever heard a joke delivered poorly, there's probably no worse situations than you could ever get in. You actually have the ability to tell a joke. Now, as you come up, you start to get into the area of running a meeting. The first hat that you have is table topics master. Now, this is where you have to be creative, come up with questions that people can actually answer. And you get to come up here and for a short section of that meeting, run that meeting and get people to come up and down on the stage. That's the first gradient. The next one is club coach. Now you're running the entire evaluation section of the meeting, all the functionaries, all the coaches. That's the next phase. The third phase of that is being Toastmaster, where you are responsible for the entire meeting. You learn how to put a meeting together, how to time it out, how to put the intros in, the segues back and forth, and to adjust that meeting as you go through it so that you bring it in on time. One of the worst experiences people have in their life, and the reason people do not like to go to meetings, is they feel they are unproductive. They, number one, do not start on time. Number two, do not end on time. And everything in between is a mess. It's amazing what you can accomplish in your life by, number one, being able to communicate to a group, and number two, being able to run a meeting effectively and efficiently. It is amazing what you can do. Now, the third area I want to talk to you about regarding the Toastmasters meetings is speech evaluation. I sincerely believe that there is no way you can become a competent speaker without being an excellent evaluator. You have to be able to do the reverse flow. You have to be able to look at that speech and say, where is it strong? What is not communicating? What is getting in the way of the communication coming across? When you can do the other flow of that, then you improve as a speaker. So speech evaluation is critical to your development as well as the speaker you're evaluating, as well as his development. It is a many table topics. You have the speaker, you have to assemble your thoughts, you have to give them a critique that is beneficial and will serve them. It is extremely challenging to be a good speech evaluator or coach. But that is one of the key elements in your speech development and becoming a speaker. Now, also within Toastmasters, there is the leadership track. The leadership track consists of holding club offices, learning to set the meeting up. I'll tell you, if people just knew how to put a meeting together, having everything in place so when people walked in the door, that is something that is applicable when you are no longer in Toastmasters, you're out in the real world. There is all of the planning and the scheduling, the president's hat of running the meeting, keeping the group together. These are vital skills that you get to learn by being a Toastmaster. It's a great place to make mistakes. It's a great place to screw up. It's a great place to try new things. And that's what you should be focusing on. Nobody is trying to be perfect. The whole hallmark here is improving, continually improving no matter what we do. The third leg of Toastmasters are the contests. The contests push you outside your comfort zone. It is not about winning or losing. It's about challenging yourself, putting yourself in a position that you don't know if you can do it or not, and you find out what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are. The contest to me is where everything comes together. You get very comfortable with your club, but when you step out of the club, and now not only are you in front of a group that you don't know, you're competing with people on the stage that somebody's going to be deemed better than another. It's an uncomfortable situation. But hey, nobody said life was easy. Nobody said life was stress-free. Jump in there, and what you'll find is you will continue to gain an ability, and you'll continue to improve in all aspects of your life. That's the entire composite of how Toastmasters works. Now go for it. Yeah. Thank you.